Hello, and greetings from the Secretariat of UNESCO's World Water Assessment Program in Perugia. I'm Richard Connor, Editor-in-Chief of the United Nations World Water Development Report. I would like to begin by thanking the University of Rome and the organizers of this event for the opportunity to address you, albeit virtually, and to say a few words about this year's report. Accounting for 99% of all liquid fresh water on Earth, groundwater has the potential to provide societies with tremendous social, economic, and environmental benefits and opportunities. Groundwater is critical to maintaining water, food, and energy security, to the fight against poverty, to the creation of decent jobs, to socioeconomic development, and to the resilience of societies and economies to climate change. It also plays an important role in sustaining healthy ecosystems. However, this natural resource is often poorly understood and consequently undervalued, mismanaged, and even abused. In spite of its overall abundance, groundwater remains vulnerable to overexploitation and pollution, both of which can have devastating effects on the resource and its availability. In the context of growing water scarcity across many parts of the world, the enormous potential of groundwater and the need to manage it sustainably can no longer be overlooked. The 2022 edition of the United Nations World Water Development Report, titled Groundwater: Making the Invisible Visible, describes the challenges and opportunities associated with the development, management, and governance of groundwater across the world. The report addresses groundwater-related issues from the perspective of the three main water use sectors: agriculture, human settlements, and industry, as well as its interactions with ecosystems and its relation to climate change. The report highlights different regional perspectives and presents a number of response options concerning data and information, policy and planning, management and governance, as well as financing. Globally, water use is expected to grow by roughly 1% per year over the next 30 years. This growth is primarily concentrated in emerging economies and middle and lower income countries. It's driven by increasing demands from the agriculture, for food, industry, and energy sectors, as well as by municipal and domestic uses. This growth is mainly a function of industrial development and improving water and sanitation service coverage, in combination with population growth, economic development, and shifting diets and consumption patterns. Combined with surface water scarcity, which is increasing due to climate change, the water crisis facing humanity is real, but it is avoidable. And while our reliance on groundwater will also definitely increase, its full potential remains largely untapped. One of the most stunning examples comes from the agricultural sector in sub-Saharan Africa, where the opportunities offered by its vast aquifer systems remain largely underexploited. Only 3% of the region's farmland is equipped with irrigation, compared to over 50% in North America and South Asia. And only 5% of that area uses groundwater. So the development of groundwater could act as a catalyst for economic growth by increasing the extent of irrigated areas and thereby improving agricultural productivity. The further development of groundwater in sub-Saharan Africa is not currently limited by a lack of groundwater, but rather by a lack of investment, most notably in infrastructure, institutions, trained professionals, and, of course, knowledge of the resource. So how do we untap groundwater's tremendous potential? Well, first, by determining how much groundwater we can extract, where and when, without overexploiting or depleting the resource. This is where data and information about groundwater and subsurface dynamics are critical. Second, by protecting the land and the ecosystems in aquifer recharge areas from pollution. Because once groundwater is contaminated, the process is virtually irreversible. And finally, it is imperative that governments assume their role as resource custodians in view of the common good aspects of water, and to ensure access to and profit from groundwater are distributed equitably and that the resource remains available for future generations. Indeed, unlocking the full potential of groundwater for ourselves and for future generations will require strong and concerted efforts to manage and use it sustainably. And it all starts with making the invisible visible. Happy World Water Day. Peace.